All right. Shalom, brothers and sisters in Israelite faith. Salam alaikum to my Moorish brothers and sisters in Islam. Excuse me. Hotep to my brothers and sisters in Egyptology. And hello to my brothers and sisters in Christianity. Okay, make a real short video right fast. I was watching a gentleman's video earlier. He was talking about the Bible was full of fairy tales and folklore and stuff like that. And when you don't understand how to break the Bible down and get the poetry out of the Bible, you'll think like that. Because again, there's no light in you, there's no poetry in you, there's no rhythm in you, there's no soul in you. So you'll think like that, you know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not bashing on the older brother, and I'm not gonna mention his name, that's his belief. He has a right to that, but again, when you can't go in a book and really break it down and get the understanding, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna criticize it without any thinking. There's no critical thinking. So with that being said, I'm gonna show you that by using the Bible and using critical thinking, common sense, how the Bible never say that Israel was the first nation. It says that Israel was a chosen nation. It was chosen. It was a set apart nation. But I'm gonna show you that there was other nations before Israel. We're not gonna get into all the detail and the history behind it, the nations and the dates and all that. I mean, you do that on your own. I'm just gonna show you how there were other nations that was mentioned in the Bible before Israel. And then they probably predated Israel. Some of them probably predated Israel for maybe 1,000 years or more. So let's go to Genesis 10. We'll go to Genesis 10 and 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush and Mizraim, Put and Canaan. All right. So Ham. That word Ham, the original name was Cam, a Cam. That's where they did get the term Chem, a Kemetic. Kemet, the Kemets come from that term. It was a K. They just dropped it. The K is silent. So, and for Mizraim, modern name is not Ethiopia, but Egypt. Egypt. So also the modern name for Put is Libya, and then you have the Canaanites, and Ethiopians. So with that being said, so we're gonna move further with that. I just want to show you that these nations were mentioned for Israel. Israel didn't even get mentioned till like the 25th chapter, something like that. So we're gonna get another scripture to edify that the Bible mentioned other nations before Israel, showing you that this guy just don't know what he's talking about. Israel never said that they were the first nation. They were the first nation. It never said that. The book don't even say that. So he's a lie. Okay. And I'm gonna Genesis 10 and 22. The children of Shem, Elam and Ashar and Ephrax and Lud and Aram. Okay. Some of those names are kind of hard to pronounce, but anyway, you can read it on your own. Ashar. Ashar is Assyria. So Assyria, again, these are names that predate Israel. And when you look at a lot of these nations, especially come from Shem's side, uh, that bloodline is like taking the bloodline of my grandfather and coming down to my father, unto me, unto my son. So you can pass things down through your generations, through these generations. Family heirlooms, land, um, stories, things of that nature. So, it would make sense that the flood myths that the people keep on talking about the flood myth, maybe they not really realizing that uh these stories was passed down through generations. That's why when you look at the Illumina list, or the Epic of Gilgamesh, they sound familiar, because again, you know, It was passed down through generations. So again, it's just critical thinking. It's not rocket science. Even the Egyptians had a myth story, a flood myth story. But we say we're going to believe the ancestors, we're going to believe the ancient ones. But here it is when these stories come out, they become mythology. You know, I mean, maybe some stories are mythology, but when you have over 200 cultures that talk about a flood story, that's something really to think about. That's something really to think about. Because again, I mean, after all, you wasn't back there and I wasn't back there. So you mean to tell me all these people just came up with the same story? They lied, you know? So if they lied about that, I mean, we might as well just say everything else is a lie. I mean, but again, you rather believe, the people that's leading the world today didn't believe anything else. So I'm not gonna beat up on that tonight. But anyway, I just want to share that part with you. So we're gonna get a little deeper in it though, because again, because people keep saying that book is a fairy tale. So just shining common sense on that just destroyed that ideology just right there, just with common sense. I'm not even going into great details, just critical thinking. Let's look at this. You see all the similarities, dealing with spiritual Egypt and physical Egypt. You know, it just really don't make no sense for us to be just that blind. You know, I mean, these people go through that great of an extent to do all this symbology. I mean, just to pull the wool over your eyes. I mean, you must be some great people, which I know we are some great people. Y'all just don't get that. It's just over your head. But anyway, just to go to this extent, just to write a book, just to create all this folklore and mythology, just to keep you in slavery, nobody else. You. For somebody to do all that, to go through all that work, must mean something. Because I mean, if I got you in bondage, why would I need to write a book? To think of, to let that resonate in your head just a little bit more. I mean, if these people try to wipe away our identity over here, everything that we created, inventions and stuff over here, why not would the Egyptians do the same thing? Because if you look up Egyptian history, Egyptians didn't even believe in or didn't even like shepherds. But guess what? When you look on the wall, they have a picture of a shepherd's hook. A shepherd's hook. Why is that?